Hi all. Uh, Carl here. Going to be discussing the welcoming new members into the you know, um, uh, essentially, how we go about that. Might be useful for people. Of course, this is just how we like to go about it. It's not like the way to do it. Just this is how we do. Anyway, um, so this does somewhat need a disclaimer in that new is a bit of a misnomer generally for us. Tends to be less you know actually new member, or um someone who has more recently um been comfortable, um reaching out to the you know primary group of us essentially. You know, they've been around for a while, but they've finally got to the point where they're um, fine. But well, they've got to a point where they want to be in contact with us and front. Majority of us on the front, um, or we rescued them from wherever they were being held internally. They're now like free to roam and you know talk and discuss with people and all and front and all of that. Again, um, um, but in many ways it's the same basic ideas. Of course, there's likely to be some differences in that a truly new member might um have less of a freeform personality potentially. So, uh, and as such might want to work on like figuring out what they like and all of that, and figuring out his personality. Way that's not necessarily necessary to the same degree for someone who's existed for a while. Although of course, if you've existed for a while in a space where you can't explore things, it's not that different in some ways, really. So, know, six one, half dozen of another, and all that. Um, you know, and anyway, let's actually get on with the um topic of the video. That so with um newer new appearances, you know, um, yeah. So obviously, different people will have different priorities. That um, you know, uh, yeah. So when getting to know a headmate, although generally what we find a good starting point is you know some form of identification. Um, if that happens to be, um, but you know things like names or names, pronouns, what sort of form they take, what species they are, you know, um, that sort of thing. Um, this can all be helpful, because they're not always clear and easy to differentiate, but when you can be helpful. Um, yeah. Um, you know, so another thing we tend to like doing is um figuring out a toolkit, for them. If they're interested in fronting and communicating with people externally, essentially, they want a plural kit, cool. Uh, so if you'll help them sort out a plural kit, so they can do that. Proxies, everything. And then of course also, um, you know, avatar images. Well, okay, if you want an avatar image for your kit, you also you want to, you know, um, guided to find an image, you know, um, something, okay, like, find an image, get a big crew or whatever, effectively. You want to make an avatar, or both, even, not all of us share our primary avatar with our model. But yeah, right. And then also the model kind of gives an idea on, uh, you know, like it doesn't necessarily say, everyone with a model isn't necessarily interested in help and doing much for the YouTube, and people who are interested in doing stuff for the YouTube but don't necessarily have models. Um, there's a correlation, let's say, because it's not all the work for a YouTube video. It's just setting up, recording it, scripting it, and all of that. So people can help without you know being the one in front of the camera, and of course, not everyone has to help. Anyway, like, don't expect people to help purely a matter of, hey, if you want to, and you know, and of course that's very unique to, well, not very unique to us. There might be another system with YouTube that uses avatars. I haven't found one yet. If you do know of one, drop it in comments or something. It'd be interesting to know. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, model maker. Yeah. So another thing we'd like to do is you know, um, this is relatively unique to well, I don't know how necessary it is, but for people who get genuinely new members more often. But yeah. So we tend to start working on unpacking trauma. You know, um, you know, this is part of you know part of our life. All of us are here from trauma, so part of welcoming someone is you know getting them situated to the point where they can start working through that. And that differs in what they need from person to person. Sometimes quite a lot, but generally things like making sure they're comfortable and feel safe as much as possible. All of that, pretty common things. But that, and of course, talking to them and you know explaining what's known, what techniques have helped with things, all that with them, so that they've got access to that information. All part of it. Yeah. And then, of course, but those that show an interest in fronting will attempt to orient them to front, starting with low pressure situations where we can. Right, it's not always, don't always get that much of a choice, but right, while we can, start with lower pressure situations and just get used to the body slowly and calmly, figure out how to listen to the body's needs and all that, and then also get used to possibly having, well, certainly brain's presence, and getting used to accessing shared memories, and then if they show an interest in any of the tech, or it's a situation where that's needed, getting used to working with tech savvy as well to make use of the technology, yeah. And, that might also include things like, hey, finding a certain thing on YouTube, going down a new rabbit hole or something there, and adding some new subscriptions to our subscriptions feed, which, cool, we don't mind that when people do that. Like, it's there for all of us. We may as well all have stuff we want. Everyone that wants to watch specific things can add things to it when they want, essentially. And of course, people might want a playlist of music that's theirs, or it's free to do that as well. One of those offers made to new members, essentially, as and when, and occasionally they take it up immediately, occasionally it takes a long time. Not everyone ever takes it up, but it's always there for everyone. No matter how little they front, essentially, but it's more common for those who front more to take up those offers, essentially. But yeah, it's yes. I think that's everything. Thank you very much. This System signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.